I'm gonna be real with you all. I have no clue what I'm doing today. I have no idea what I'm doing today. But hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're gonna be just chilling here for right now. I'm gonna catch up with chat real quick. I'm gonna say, oh, some congrats on getting that first. Good to see you as well, Nimnop. Thanks for speaking to my chat. Oh my lordy. Get back down there. I want 70 stream streak. Hell yeah. Look, I'm on TV. Yeah. Twitch acting up on your phone. Hate to hear it. Hate to hear it. Jay, good to see you as well. Traveler. Thinking what to do. Have a couple suggestions. Fair. And Draxon, good to see you as well. Thanks. Thank you as well for sharing in the chat. I appreciate it. And I see everyone just wants to attack me today. Understandable. I get you. Also, let me just move this up so y'all can see yourselves. There we go. For this morning, listen. I did nothing wrong. You could have said, no, I ain't feeling it. And I would have said, all right, okay. But you decided to go ahead and go along with it, so, Yep. I'm innocent in this. Completely innocent. Managed to catch a viewing of the Mario Galaxy movie last night. Hell yeah. Yeah, innocent. In this situation, yes. But yeah, what's everyone up to? That's some good tea. How good am I at drawing? Actual traditional drawing and digital drawing, I suck at. Pixel art, I can do pretty decent at. Why you ask? I have to ask you, why you ask? You ready to see the Super Mario Galaxy movie yourself? Fair. Very fair, in fact. You know, let me turn down the music a little bit. That's a little loud. There we go. Now I can hear my own thoughts. I couldn't hear them for a moment. All right. Okay. Have I played Mario games on this channel? I've played through Mario Wonder and all of Mario 3. What old Mario games have I played on this channel? Played some Mario Party with Amalia, Fushi, and Leah back in the day. I haven't done much Mario on this channel now I think about it. Oh, I did the original Mario with Super Mario Bros. Remastered, same with Mario The Lost Levels. The fact that I still beat Lost Levels on Luigi mode is crazy to me. I'm gonna be real with you. I am still impressed with myself on that. Not sure about paranormal type images, huh? Good at spriting? Gotcha. But yeah, right now I'm just sort of sitting here, chilling, thinking, the hell do I do for a couple hours before we go right into, well, you know who we're raiding. We're going to be raiding Eve, because today might be her last day of subathon. So we're going to be raiding into her. But, what do I do for the 2 hours up to that point? I'm not really sure. Wario code with my session with Treasure. Now listen, Wario wants it all for himself just to be rich and wealthy. Me, I want it for the sake of seeking it out and saying, ooh, look what I found. And then just, I usually sell the treasures I find. Just to go ahead and get them out of the way. Or I give them away. No joke, folks. No joke. Back when I used to go urban exploring, spelunking, and all that stuff, I found so many different treasures. So many different ones. Some of which, museums went, how did you come across this? And when they'd explain it to me, I said, oh, that's what it is? Well, it's not doing me any good. You keep it. I just found it neat. But stuff like that belongs in a museum, you know? I really want to play the Super Mario Galaxy games. I don't have them on Switch yet. I need to get them. Both 1 and 2 are going to be so much fun. Because I remember playing Mario Galaxy 1 on the original Wii. That was one of the games I got to borrow from a friend. I played through that all in a night. Ah, hey, kitten, enjoy your lurk. I understand you're doing business. Or as the guy over on Dead Meat says, business. But yeah. Silk Song, if I ever going to do Silk Song, I'm going to set that for whenever I know for a fact that everything is 1% good with the GPU drivers. Yeah, it's Godot that screws up with it, but I don't want to take a risk right now, you know? Did I say luck instead of lurk? I thought I said lurk. For your enough, Silk Song is Unity, you believe? Yeah, it is. It is. But I still want to be a little cautious. You know, just a little bit, not a lot of it. So right now, it's thing of... Because, folks, I'm going to tell you this now. I didn't rest after stream. I didn't. I was up throughout the entire goddamn night. Then I streamed. Then after we finished streaming, I raided into Kobe, as you all know. And when XCOM failed on her, she played Super Battle Golf. Guess who also had Super Battle Golf and saw that was a community day then? This guy! And I jumped in. And I'll tell you now, at first I tried being nice, because she had not played it before. I went ahead and just... I grabbed because everyone was just blasting around. There was at least 12 people in there, including myself. And at one point I saw that she was, you know, just there. I drove up in the golf cart, honked the horn just, you know, a couple times. And instead of getting in the golf cart like she could have after she shot the ball, she grabbed a rocket launcher, shot the cart I was in when I was trying to give her a ride. I moved up, thought, okay, maybe she thought I was trying to run her over. Just sat there, sat still, honked. She did it again. To which I went, of course you realize this means war. So I had a rocket launcher as well. And while no one had done this yet, the next stage, the next hole, before everything started, people were lined up. I pulled out the rocket launcher, turned left, found her on there, and let it rip right as it said go. Oh. It was a good choice. It was a good choice. Very good choice. Have I played Luigi's Mansion before? Dude, I love Luigi's Mansion. Especially the first one. First one's the best one. First one is the best Luigi's Mansion game. Second one, I haven't played all the way through yet. I want to play through it. Third one, I haven't played all the way through yet. I want to play through it as well. That said, I do need to make sure that things, you know, are, I want to find a way to play through the first one, then the second one, and then the third one on stream. Hopefully I can get that done sometime this year, because I'd love to do that for October, honestly. Because I love Luigi's Mansion. Of course I didn't. I'm all, yeah. Which game types am I able to emulate? Yes. If I don't have it set up, I can find someone to help me get it set up. Because really the hardest thing for me is finding the BIOS of some systems. Like the Sega CD or the Sega Saturn. Though, not Sega CD, Sega Saturn. That one is hard for me to find the BIOS of. At least a functioning BIOS that'll work with the things I want it to work with. Because one thing I want to play is the translated version of Sakura Wars. I want to play that. That would be a lot of fun. But I'm having trouble with finding the proper BIOS to use. Because I think I need the Japanese BIOS. But I need to get the English translated ROM. Or ISO, technically. It's a bit of a complicated mess. Sure he's about to drop the Bugs quote. Bad choice by her, though. Yeah. Think of... I offered peace. And she chose violence. So I chose violence in return. 'Tis nature's way. and I will not apologize. Ooh, got my next pop right there. That felt nice. Okay. Yes, have I ever played Mario and Luigi? I have actually never played a Mario and Luigi game. I enjoy Luigi and Mario, and I know those are good RPGs, but I've never played one. You know Sakura Wars? It's a good series, very good. Played any of the Wario Land games before? I have played the very first Wario Land game. Not on stream, but I played it before when I was a kid. And I played it on... Well, I had a Game Boy Pocket, but my friend who owned it had the brick. Good old classic Game Boy. The series considered? Yeah, true. I mean, if I was going to play that, I'd probably only replay the first one. Because, I'll be honest, I have touched the second and third one as well, but I didn't like them nearly as much. First one was my favorite. And I just couldn't get into the other two. Well, technically there's, what, 3, 4? But yeah, the first one I definitely want to play. Best Mario Luigi games in your opinion are Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story. You know, that's what everyone tells me, especially Bowser's Inside Story. Just have to get to playing Sakura Wars? Ah, fair. Yeah, Sakura Wars is really good. Really good. If you've never played one before, I do recommend starting with the new one, Shin Sakura Taisen, on the PlayStation 4, if you can get it. Or if you know, I'd say get it if you can. Buy a copy of the disc, it's worth it. But if you don't have a PlayStation 4, you know, maybe dump the ISO and play it through your completely legal PC S4, you know? Just make sure you get that disc, because we need that series to come back. Virtual Boy Wario Land is more similar to Wario Land 1 than the sequels? Yeah, Virtual Boy 1 I know is actually pretty good, but I never owned a Virtual Boy for obvious reasons. So, yeah. Though my neighbor did. That was the biggest regret of their lives. They didn't really buy any game consoles after that. Well, is what it is there. 4 number tiles in the plus Virtual Boy and Shake It. Like me, it was okay with Partners in Time, but never finished it. Never felt like starting battles. Ah, I see. Understandable, have they? That's some good tea. But yeah, thing of, I have game series I do need to get to. I have a lot of game series I need to get to. Like, I have all the Xenoblade games. Well, correction, I don't have Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I've been waiting for a definitive edition of that. But I want to play the Xenoblade games because I do enjoy them, but as I mentioned on the test stream earlier this morning, which I guess most people might not know about that because it was at the ass crack of dawn. I'll be real, it was at the ass crack of dawn. So let me get some more fitting. Let me put on some more fitting garb. There we go. I get nervous about playing more popular JRPGs on Twitch because anytime I play one that's got a really passionate fan base, 9 times out of 10 they try to spoil it. I don't play Persona on stream because even though I love Catherine and I enjoyed the gameplay of Persona 5, first time I ever tried streaming it, people came into the chat and spoiled the entire ending of the game, even though it was my first time sitting down and playing it. Yep. So, yeah, and ever since then, I was thinking about doing one at one point, but that was back whenever I was still modding for Amalia. I turned my mod badge over to Amalia's place because I just can't be there as often anymore, which made me feel guilty about having a mod badge, you know, if I can't be there as much. Yeah, and when I was watching her play through Persona 4, that just solidified that the Persona fan base on Twitch, I don't want to deal with them. The games are fine. I will enjoy talking about Persona with friends and people who watch my channel, but, ooh, my lordy. God damn. They were so horrible to Amalia. It got to the point to where the term trumpeteer was damn near banned. People got smacked and put to timeout for saying it. Mm-hmm. 4 and 6 of the Mario and Luigi games have 3DS versions? Oh, neat, neat, neat. I'd probably want to play the Game Boy Advance version just because, well, would it be Game Boy Advance or would it be DS? Either way, I'd probably want to play those just because I like pixel art. You know? Nothing would be interesting to me play the Itchy Nazi games? Dude, I want to play those. Those have been on my wish list for a long time. Just that any time it comes around to where they're on sale, I don't have the cash. It happens, you know? Don't know if that's stream friendly go? No, I've seen people stream the Itchy Nazi games before. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, Etrian Odyssey, I've seen people play it on stream. I know some of the character designs are quite revealing, but, nice. I'm sorry, I had to say it. But, I mean, in the end, I'm just a guy. You know? I'm gonna have things in my brain that are just like any other guy. Like Series so much you miss it? Yeah. Etrian Odyssey was just who made Etrian Odyssey? Was it Atlas or was it NCIS or was it NIS? I can't remember now. You know what? I can just pull up Steam and look. Hold up. I can just pull up Steam and look. Etrian Odyssey. It looks like it was Atlas. Okay. It was Atlas. Man. Yeah. I would love to play those games. I would really love to, but they do be expensive as fuck. They be expensive as fuck. Granted, they're only $40 right now for the first one, and as a bundle for all three, it's $80.37. That's not a bad deal for all three of the games. But individually, $40, that's a little pricey. 25 to 30. 25 to 30 would be my limit on that. Yeah, Atlas was bought by Sega a hot minute ago. Absolutely. Oh, there's not much movement on stream. Well, I could say the same thing about a lot of the indie games I played as well, but I still stream them anyway because it's what I have fun with. So I definitely give it a try. If I had access to them. There is, speaking of games on Steam that are dungeon crawlers, but let me see. I need to sort by name because I know it starts with an A. Where the fuck is it? Have any of you heard of the game called Archelund? Spelled ARCHAELUND. Have any of you ever heard of this? Because a game I've had my eye on for a hot minute. Because folks, it is a very interesting idea. It is a CRPG, much like, well, I'd say it plays more like, say, maybe, imagine a hybrid of XCOM with Baldur's Gate or Divinity Original Sin, and how it's very similar to, you have grid movement, turn-based tactics combat. However, the exploration is done in the way of a game like Elder Scrolls. It goes to first person and you're exploring through the maps and the dungeons, looking for buttons, switches, and pressure plates. It looks really, you don't even have to look. I'll just link it in the chat for you all. There you go. That one right there. That is a game I've been looking forward to for a while. It has been in early access for a hot minute. Since apparently January 8th, 2024. But it looks really well made. I am genuinely excited for when this goes into full release. Just because it is an interesting idea. I love the concept, Elder Scrolls style, world movement, and then, turn-based tactics for the battles. Oh, I love it. And hey, Rut, welcome in. How you doing? How am I doing? I'm awake. I shouldn't be. I've been up since yesterday, but we're doing it live. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well today. Ah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this game whenever it comes out. I could have got it early on, but $25 is pretty steep for early access in my opinion, you know? But that's just me because I've been burnt on early access before. Had a long day, but you're doing okay? Ah, I feel ya. I feel ya. Yeah, sometimes it just be like that, am I right? You know, I'm just gonna look at my wish list because I haven't looked at my actual wish list on Steam in a while. I just put things in there as a bookmark and then sometimes I forget about them. How many of you all do that too? Another game suggestion that you mentioned in the past? Which one? Which one? Because there are many game suggestions I get. A lot. A lot. Because no joke, there's not a day that goes by that I don't get at least 5 or 6 game suggestions, sometimes by the developers themselves. What type of game am I into? I will literally play anything that is not a walking sim. I will play pretty much anything. Oh, you'll probably... Sorry, I forget. Yeah, Traveler, if you want to just type out the name of it and I'll search it up because I forgot. I don't... except for MVPs and mods, links don't get done in the chat because I had people spamming some pretty not so good ones a long time ago. I had to go ahead and make it to where those were a little, you know. Yeah, there was one time, long time ago. Sonic Triple, oh, the Sonic Triple 16-bit fan game. I actually have that. I want to play it. I need to play it. I should play it. I need to play that at some point because I do have that. That is a good one. Ooh. Oh, you do that as well, Jade? Yeah, it's just, I even do that with games I'm looking at for friends as well, where I'll just bookmark a game, go, it's not for me, but I'll bookmark it so I can remember to send to a friend later. And, you know, the only way to really bookmark on there is wishlist. That's why I wish on Steam. Okay. Oh, Gabe. Owner of Valve. Savior of the Gabe Cube. If you're hearing me now, an implementation we want on Steam that would be nice. We have our wish list, but please let's also have a bookmark feature for things that we're keeping tabs on, but we don't necessarily want to have people accidentally buy for us when we're not really looking to buy it yet either. We're just keeping an eye on it. I do play some survival games. I've played Power World, I've played Valheim. I've played some survival games. Yeah, I even have Hightail. So you want to suggest other stuff? I'll stop now. Others can do some chatting. Just keep on talking, everybody. It's good to have y'all. This is the first time I've done a just chatting stream, so I need people to talk. I need people to talk. Follow feature of that solves anything? No, the follow feature isn't quite the same because you don't really get a tab that allows you to look at your following games. You'll get a feed at the top of your at the top of things that you'll see, but it's not quite the same. It's wonky. It's wonky. Ooh, another game that's coming out that it's not coming out anytime soon. It just says coming soon, but said coming soon for the past 3-4 years. Abyss X Zero or Abyss Cross Zero. I'm not sure how they're pronouncing it. I will link this in the chat for people who might be curious. Bada bing, bada. Will you please? There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. All right, there's what it is. But yeah, this game right here, Abyss Zero, is an action platformer game done with vibrant PS1 style graphics, and it just looks really good. It reminds me a bit of Mega Man Legends, which is one of the big draws of it to me, but with a little bit more, I'd say maybe, best way to put it is modern anime style grit. Or edge, not grit, edge. And it looks really fun. Ooh, don't know if you asked you this before, but what game system and video game first got you into video games? I can tell you that now. The first video game system I ever owned was a Nintendo Entertainment System, an NES. And it was old by the time I got it, because I think the Super Nintendo had already been out for a while as well. I can't remember. And the N64 was on its way. But one of the first 2 games I ever played, I don't remember which one was the first, which one was the second, because I was really young. But I remember that the first 2 games I ever played were Mega Man 1 and Castlevania 1. The third ever game I played was Doom. Yeah, I was 2-3 years old when I played it, I think. Maybe, I don't remember. But either way, I was young when I played it. I turned out fine. You're asking me to recommend you a game instead. What's your favorite Metroidvania that you've played in the last year or so? Ooh, let me get a think about that one. Ever played Rust? I have played Rust. Rust, I played back whenever there was a server for my old agency that I was with, Amberglow. They had a server they were doing. It was just a fun time playing it with everybody. I wasn't good at it, and I joined Mel's faction in there. Or Mal as they went by back then. Mel, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely amazing individual. You know what? Let's see. I'm gonna shout them out. Shout out Melanie Bell. I think there's no underscore CH. There we go. Yes. Please go follow my friend Melanie. I would really appreciate it. They are an amazing individual. Hey, Divine, welcome in. Good to have you. XZ, it's been so long since the Indie Games channel. Watch, stop promoting it. Ah, I see. Yeah, I've been waiting for that one to come out. But oh yeah, your question about Metroidvania, I played this last year. What all have I played this last year? It's been a minute. What have I played? What's my favorite Metroidvania that I played this last year? Let me look at my library on Steam, because I probably have it on there instead of anywhere else. Because I've been playing a lot more RPGs than Metroidvanias here lately, which is a shocker for me. Then again, it's probably... No, I remember The Last Faith. Last Faith. That was my favorite one last year that I played. I know it was a couple years old by that point, but that was such a good game. That was such a good game. It's everything I wanted Bloodborne to be. Yeah, it was a good time. Starship Evo. Okay, let me see what this is. Starship Evo. It is Minecraft your way, loot to orbit, build your own starship, and explore a vast, dangerous galaxy alongside your crew. 4 players who love the meaningful survival progression, unique, elegant building system, and epic space opera scale. Oh, I do like the art style of it. It's very, traditional. Reminds me of some old school PS2 games. I love it. Okay. Let's see here. Just gonna scroll down, see what's... Multiplayer uses server-desk client framework and requires port forwarding. Oh, that's gonna make it rough to do that, but single player is fine for now. Let's see, build anything, make your own market in dangerous galaxy, make your fights, space trade, yada yada. Okay. Yeah, this actually looks legit cool. I'm gonna mark that on my own wish list. Don't mind me. All right. But speaking of that one, there is a game I've played that I'm pretty sure a lot of you haven't. Because it's one that anytime I bring it up to people, nobody knows what it is. They've seen it around, but they've never played it. And that game, my friends, is called Pulsar Lost Colony. Right here. It is a space crew simulator where you and you need friends to play it. Do not try to play it solo. You can have bots on there, but it's just not the same. You and some friends, I want to say it's up to 5 friends. Or 5, you want 5 total players. You got the captain, engineering, science, weapons, pilot. And all 5 of them have an important role because you're going through from sector to sector. You have your own missions, or you can just say, fuck the mission, do whatever the hell you want. You can ignore the story. and you go around from station to station, planet to planet, wreckage to wreckage, and you can actually warp. It's Star Trek the game. It is literally the Star Trek game that everybody's wanted, but no one has ever looked at it. Ooh, that's right. Risky Revolution came out last year too. Oh, that was a good one as well. Oh, I think that one takes my second favorite for last year when it comes to Metroidvanias. What? Oh, right. Silksong was last year too. I'm not done with Silksong yet. I'm going to wait until Silksong's done before I give my judgment there. Metroid Prime 4, though. There is no Metroid Prime 4. There never was and never will be. Anyhow. You'll get the Last Face Earth then when you can. It's a really good game. Though I would say, if you can, get it on console. Because you're going to want to use a controller for it anyway, and it's a single-player game. Get it on console if you can. Because if you're playing it on PC, it is always full screen, and you cannot change the resolution. So keep that in mind. If you look at Katama, you'll get the Last Faith. Ooh, Boat Path to the Teal Lotus came out. Was that last year or the year before? Can't remember which. But that was a good one too. Don't have a console, will you keep that in mind? Roger that. Or as some great droids you once said, Roger, Roger. Ah, man. You know, I've played a bunch of games. I've played a metric fuck ton of games here recently. I think in the last few years, I've cleared more games than I've cleared throughout my childhood. Because I didn't really actually start beating games until I hit my teenage years. When I was a kid, the games were just too hard for me. But I loved playing them, even if I sucked. I just replay the same stages until I got better. You know, the old-fashioned way. You don't even have a PC at the moment, Ruffier? Ooh, yeah. Oh god, if you don't have a PC, oh. I salute you on that. Good luck, my friend. Because that's going to be an expensive purchase. Yeah, RAM prices are technically going to go down sooner than later because the RAM stock has crashed. And I don't mean the stock as in supply. I mean RAM stock as in the stock that was put into AI usage. Because that bubble is popping, and it's popping hard. So RAM prices will go down sooner than later. However, GPUs are going to spike up again. So, it's a thing of, RAM probably won't go back down to where it was, but it'll go down a fair bit. But yeah. In the end, we're still going to be stuck in a sort of rough place because GPUs will be up there a little bit higher sooner than later, unfortunately, even if RAM goes back down in price. Ah, movie time soon for you, Osamu? Hell yeah. You have to let them know what you think. And hey, both, welcome in. How you doing? Attribute your well-developed game skills to having an older brother to compete with? Ooh, yeah. I didn't have an older brother living with me that I could compete with. I didn't know at the time that I had older brothers. I knew I had older siblings, but when I was born, you know, I was technically born out of wedlock because my mom and biological dad had divorced at that point. So, I am a bastard. But we all knew that already. And pretty much I never got to meet my biological dad or my siblings on that side of the family until after I hit 21. So, yeah. So yeah, I didn't have any older siblings to play with. I had neighbors that I competed with, definitely. But I didn't have any siblings I competed with. A friend who's been mean to give you one. He was only missing RAM, you think? Ah, gotcha. Well, yeah, you just gotta wait on that RAM to go down, because it will go down. It will go down. Hopefully this year. Yeah, fingers crossed. Are the your main concerns the investors and the investors will invest with the desperation of gambling addicts. They've already done that. They've already gone to the net negative, so they're gonna be pulling out sooner than later. Hell, Nvidia pulled out of deals with OpenAI, so And we all know how hard NVIDIA was pushing AI, so, you know, they were probably one of the biggest pushers. You doing okay? About to cook some steaks for lunch? Hell yeah. What seasoning you got for them? Are you going to be doing, just traditional salt and pepper? Are you going to be doing, a little bit of A1? Or maybe, perchance, some Creole? Because let me tell you, Cajun steak is pretty damn good. Oh, that felt good. Get my neck to pop on that one. Oh, that felt nice. Ooh, okay. You had a Frankfurt for lunch? Ooh, can't go wrong with a Frank either. Food is food. That is what I will say. Food is food. Do waste not, want not. You love a quality steak? Oh, people here would love my cooking then, because I've gotten to where I'm really good at making steak, ribs, fish. Learning how to do, I've gotten pretty good at shrimp. I've just been learning roast and all that. It's just thinking, I've gotten really good at what I do. And it's only been about a year and a half or so that I've been able to learn how to do these things. So give me more time and I'll be even better at it. Salt, pepper, steak seasoning, Johnny Hunter's blend, lemon pepper mixed together. Hell yeah. Cook yours rare. Ah, nice, nice. I approve. I know some people like medium rare or well done. Let me tell you, I've never seen a steak that's well done that I call well done. For me, it's always rare or blue. Because let me tell you, whenever I go to a place that's cooking a steak and they say, well, how do you want it cooked? I just tell them, I want to hear it moo. And whenever someone said, and there was one time where I went and did that and they cook it right on the table in front of you. I said, what do you mean by that? Well, I'll tell you. Go ahead and start cooking. I'll tell you when. You put it on the table. It sizzles a little bit. I went, okay. Flip it over. Sizzles on the other side and went, mmm. You hear it moo? It's done. All right, now let's go. What can I say? As long as it's cooked long enough to where the bacteria and stuff will be gone, that's all that matters to me. Cut off the cow slab on the plate. Good taste, good taste. Because I'm gonna be honest with you folks. The thing that you want from steak is the juices. You want those juices. You don't want to cook too many of them out. Those juices are what make it tasty. And, folks, I hope you do realize what the juices are. Because it's not just the melted fat that you're cooking. It is also the blood. The blood is what flavors the steak. The fat and the blood. That's what the juices are. It's just a natural way of life. Don't be ashamed of it. Nature isn't ashamed of it. You see wolves and stuff, they'll eat steak all the time. And they'll just, they won't even wait for it to be cooked. They'll just dig right in. Sick. More for everyone else? Ah, not a fan of steak? Fair. I enjoy steak though. The one thing I need to learn how to cook better right now is chicken. That's the one thing I need to get better at. I'm getting better at it though. If you cook too long, it becomes a dried up stew soul. Yep, exactly. Ah, man. I will say the one that I was the most hesitant to learn was shrimp, because I'd not done shrimp. I held off on it because, well, I was going to learn it at one point, but then when my mom passed, it was a thing of, it was really hard for me to push myself to do, because that was my mom's favorite food. She loved shrimp. She loved shrimp, absolutely. And it's only here within the past couple months that I pushed myself to learn how to make shrimp. And I gotta say, it was because of a friend who really likes shrimp that I went and pushed myself to learn it. So she doesn't know that, but I need to thank her for it. She pushed me past my self-implemented barrier there. Ooh, you can give me a good chicken recipe later? Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. How long do you cook your chicken and at what temperature? I put on a frying pan and I cook it until I see that it's not pink on the inside anymore because I'm using a knife and fork to go ahead and just cut a little bit of that open so I can take a look on the inside. I need to learn better ways to cook it. I know deep frying is usually a way that a lot of people do, especially down here. I'm in the fucking South. But I have yet to I don't really have a deep fryer, so I just have a frying pan. Usually I fill the frying pan with butter and then a little bit of seasoning, salt, normally Lowry's. And then, I'll just put on there, just flip over, sometimes put a lid on top of it so it'll steam through it a little bit with the butter and just keep it juicy, steam it up a little bit before I go ahead and pull that off. Start flipping over, make sure everything's cooked right way through. You said blue, I was like, does all mean blue is in raw or blue is in blue? Now, I don't know, how do you spell it for blue steak? I'm not really sure. Cook your chicken in the oven for 45 minutes at 350 degrees? Ah, gotcha. Okay, okay, now that I know the temperature and a time limit, that'll work. Okay, I can practice with that. Same with your own mom, she loves shrimp and crab? Yeah, my mom just loves shrimp, specifically coconut shrimp. I haven't learned how to make that, but then again, that's because I don't go out of my way to get coconut, because I'm not a fan of coconut. The flavor is fine. I can't handle the texture. No. That's why Twinkies will always be better than snowballs. But yeah, I do need to thank a little lady for getting me past my mental barrier that I had, so I could get and start cooking on shrimp. Chicken goes in the oven, frying pan just doesn't get it right. Ah, I see. Noted. Exactly, I can handle the flavor, but not the raw ingredient of it. Though, speaking of the way I cook shrimp, though, what I do is I take not a little bit of butter to grease the pan. No. I take a big old scoop of butter. Because you gotta get it just right. You gotta get this just right. You go ahead, you take a big old scoop of butter. Maybe even 2 or 3. That way it creates a nice, sort of like a small simmer bath for the shrimp whenever you're gonna put them in. But before that, you mix in salt, crushed peppercorn, red chili flakes, as well as a bit of garlic powder if you're wanting to go with, say, like the shrimp pasta, or if you're going for or if you want just shrimp itself, you put a bit of Creole seasoning with it, a little bit of Creole seasoning salt. Mix that in there. You put the shrimp in afterwards, top it off a little bit more Creole so that it gets directly on the shrimp too. Let it just cook there on medium-low until the shrimp curl up properly. Because whenever they're curled up into that sort of CG looking shape, that's when they're ready. And I'll go back, I'll flip them over every once in a while, make sure it's getting the butter mixture on both sides. I'll do that for a while. Then I go take those, put them into a separate dish. Usually I put it inside of a container such as Tupperware. And instead of just pouring out the butter stuff, no. That is now dipping sauce. That is now dipping sauce, my friends. So what I'll do is I go ahead and take another Tupperware, put it in that. That way, I can just dip into there with the shrimp if I want to. Or if I need to, I can close a lid on it, put it in the fridge, take it out, melt it down in the microwave, and just have it there again. It works really good. Now, when it comes to seasoning, you have 2 methods. One normal seasoning, one for barbecue sauce. Ooh, yeah. For barbecue sauce, definitely a different way of doing things. But for sauce, you do use Heinz 57 to dip your steak in. Ah, fair, fair. Very fair. Oh, man. I'm gonna make myself hungry if I keep on talking about food. Hold up, I need to accept my drink. But, yeah, it's just... Man. Now I'm thinking... I also found an easy way to make quote-unquote pulled pork without needing an actual pork roast to make it. Because sometimes ribs are cheaper to buy than a roast. So one time, I decided to try this out. Took a whole big old thing of pork ribs. And what I did was I went and just cut it into segments, put it in a crock pot with about a cup of water, and I just let that melt on low for overnight. Just let it melt on low overnight. And people might go, why would you do that? It's because I wasn't intending on eating it as ribs. Because the next day, I open that up. I pull that out, and the bones themselves are essentially, any of the cartilage that was there, any of the fat, it's melted. It has now become flavor seasoning. A flavorful liquid at the base. I strain a little bit of it because, you know, some of it was water, but I strain a little bit, and the bones I can just pull them out with a pair of tongs. Just pull them out, bada bing, bada bing. The bones themselves are essentially melting because the marrow is so soft now. And I'm left there with the pork that's been shredded now. You may go, but it's not seasoned yet. It will be. What I do then is I go ahead and, as I said, that the juices that were in there are now a bit of flavor seasoning. I pour those into a separate container, and on just the meat itself, I put salt, pepper, and then depending on which way I want to go with it, I'll put maybe some. Sorry, I had a hiccup. All right. I'll put either some barbecue sauce on it to go ahead and act as a binder for what else I'm going to use, or I'll just put in the other raw stuff, which is, if you want to have things attach, I've learned that mustard is a really good binder too. Mustard is absolutely amazing for binding. But yeah, salt, pepper, black peppercorn. It's gotta be hand-ground black peppercorn. And then, you know, again, if I'm feeling garlic, I'll go garlic. If I'm not, I might go with Italian seasoning, some lemon pepper, you know, something like that. You know, just whatever type of seasoning style I want. But the salt and pepper is always in there. But usually, I'll go ahead and have that in there, and I'll mix it around until it's just like, it looks like a giant mess of just sauce and seasonings. Now put the lid back on for about 30 minutes to let that all sort of soak in on low, because it's already still hot in there, you know. And I'll just let it soak in with the heat for 30 minutes. Then afterwards, I will go back, take that broth that was essentially made, and pour it back in slightly over time. About every 30 minutes, I'll go ahead and pour a little bit more in. Close it, put it on low for 30 minutes, undo, open, pour it in, close it, low for 30 minutes until it's all done. And then eventually the liquids in there will eventually essentially steam themselves out from boiling down too much. And, well, not too much, but from boiling out a bit. And all that flavor will be soaked into the meat. I then scoop that out, put a little bit extra salt and stuff on there if it's gotten a little too waterlogged, you know, re-up the seasoning, you know, do a double dash. Put that in a container, and that shit is just good for putting on sandwiches or anything else from then on in. My personal thing to put it on, tortilla, some jasmine rice, some of that pulled pork, add some cheese on there if I need to, some beans. Wrap that shit up, put it into a George Foreman grill or something like that to just go ahead and grill it shut, show that the tortilla is a little bit crispy but still soft. It's such a good time. And now I'm hungry. You getting pretty hungry yourself? It is around that time. After all, over here, it is currently 2:58. Normal seasoning, you shake on your chicken, rub it in. When it comes to barbecue sauce, cook the chicken for 30 minutes, then take it out, oven spread sauce, and put it in for the last 15 minutes. That is also a really good thing, too. Mom makes pretty good barbecue chicken, season the chicken, and she wraps the chicken in barbecue sauce, pour it in the foil, and wraps it up in the foil, and then lets it soak in the BBQ sauce while the chicken's cooking in the oven. Noted, noted. Duly noted. I may have to steal that. All right. Well then. You had burritos? Burritos are good. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The tortilla is God's gift to food. People might say, wait, the tortilla? Yes. Because it can be used to eat on its own if you just need a quick light snack. It can be used to wrap up so much in either a burrito or even just a quesadilla type of sandwich type thing. Or, if need be, you put it in a bowl, you pour the other stuff on top of it. It's sort of like a buffer between the glass and the bowl. That way, the juices don't escape, and whenever the food's getting low, you can then just pinch it up, pick it up, and eat it like it's finger food, because the tortilla is still there. I love tortillas. But, that's just me. That's just me. Oh, man. How do we get onto the topic of food? I don't recall how we got into this topic. It just sort of happened. Because for a while we were talking about games. And then the topic just shifted somewhere. And I don't think it had anything to do with games. I think it just got brought up somehow. Me and shrimp? Maybe. No, there was something else being talked about before I talked about shrimp, even. Change the subject. The arcade game you played in recent memory that you enjoyed the most was the remake of Ninja Warriors Again, The Ninja Saviors Return of the Warriors. Ooh, that one. My brain. I think I've heard that one. I think I've seen that one. It sounds very familiar. I'll have to give a look later, because that one does sound familiar. I think I've seen it before. Steak was first? Oh, probably, yeah. Yeah, because we were talking. Yep, that's right. Wolf brought up steak, and and I asked what the seasoning was going to be. That's what it was. All right, there we go. Oh, Traveler said he was going to have steak. I thought Wolf. Well, someone said they were going to have steak. That's all that matters. But yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Was it Wolf? You didn't scroll all the way up? It's somebody. Someone in chat mentioned steak. Steak and shrimp. I may be bad at remembering names. I'm amazing at remembering faces. And when my brain is actually working, I can remember things pretty damn good. But yes, games. Games, though. I'm looking at my wish list on Steam just because I'm curious as to what all I put on there. Because it's been a while. And I'm just looking at these, I'm thinking, man, some of these I put on there because I want to play them. Because I wanted to play them because I got a VR headset with the Oculus Quest 2. But then my Quest 2 ended up being borked as of day one, with the left thumbstick just having dripped immediately. Which sucks, because whenever I contacted them, they said, hey, sorry. It's going to cost you a lot of money to get that repaired. They wouldn't just replace it, even though it was brand fucking new. It is what it is. Because one of the things I wanted to play on stream back when I got it was I have Resident Evil VR. I wanted to play Resident Evil 4 VR on stream. There are actually some clips that I have of it, whenever I did a test stream of it, that were actually pretty damn fun. And to you too? Yeah. From what I understand, the Quest 2 controls are not the best. The joystick's a little wonky. Okay, let's see. What games am I looking forward to that might be out sooner than later?
Meow meow, motherfucker.
And hey, Nightingale! Thanks so much for the raid. Welcome in, welcome in. It's good to have you here. For those who joined in that may not know me, I am Alm. I'm your local adventurer. And today, I don't know what the hell we're doing. We're just sort of sitting here talking. I haven't really done this before. I'm normally a game streamer, but I didn't know what to play right now. Or today. So, we're just chatting right now and just having a good time. I hope you had a fun time playing Cole LLC. I have no clue what that's about. Would you mind telling me? I'm curious. What is Cole LLC? Oh, one game I'm looking forward to that's coming out, folks. One game I'm looking forward to that's coming out is called Blackfinger Jet. Let me go ahead and grab the link for you all. Because as you all know, I love games like Contra and Metal Slug. And this game right here, if it'll actually paste, is actually made by some former Metal Slug devs. A good chunk of the original Metal Slug team, in fact. Yeah. It looks really good, really smooth. So I'm looking forward to that. That's one. Obviously, Bloodstain the Scarlet Engagement, I'm looking forward to that as well, especially because it's apparently going to be able to be done in co-op. I don't know if it's going to be co-op online or just co-op local, but either way, that's nice. Oh, you know that one? Hell yeah. Yeah, looking at my list, I have a few things I've got on my wish list I need to get. Like, I have Bravely Default Flying Fairy, the HD remaster, which is finally off the Switch 2 and onto Steam. Bravely Default 2. A game that I've been interested in for a while but never pulled the trigger on. Breakwater's Crystal Tides. I know it's abandoned by the devs, but what's there looks interesting in and of itself. So, I'm waiting until it gets a really good sale and then I'm probably going to snag it. Yeah, Blackfinger Jet looks really nice. Ooh, another game that looks fun. Cast, also known as Chernosm Anomaly Strike Team. It's essentially Eldritch Horror Helldivers. Yeah. And that has my attention, because I loved Helldivers too. I only played it on console because, you know, Game Guard on the PC version. Why'd they pick Game Guard? Come on, guys. But, I'm definitely looking forward to, I definitely want to take a look at Cast at some time. That's some good tea. Because that is a fun game. I know I haven't linked the last couple, but it's just think of, you know, it's pretty easy to find. It's, Yeah, there's just a lot of games coming out that I'm looking forward to. Like, and a program that I need to get one day, I just haven't. I need to. Crocodile 3D. Allows you to make essentially 3D dioramas, or low poly dioramas that you can go ahead and texture with sprites that you have. And apparently you can export those to games as well, so you can make essentially stages or battle arenas using that and just import them. I need to get that at some point. Cole LOC sounds like a complex game? Possibly. Oh, I need to eventually play the Dead Space remake. I've played the original Dead Space, but I've never played the remake. I watched Eve play through it, and it looks like Dead Space, but a lot more seamless. So it's a thing of, yeah, it could be fun. It'd be nice to see how it feels, you know, in comparison. Lich, enjoy your lurk, enjoy your lurk. Oh, those large-scale mining games, but mining causes the environmental deterioration. Oh. Interesting. Noted, noted. Watch out, RPG Maker. My friend, do not quote the ancient text to me. I was there when it was written. I have been using RPG Maker since the very first RPG Maker. Though I did prefer RPG Maker 2000. Oh man, I used to make games and put them on floppy disk. Then I just go ahead and just pass out to friends to see what they thought about it. I mean, that's how I knew I wanted to go into game design. Because I didn't just have fun in, you know, playing games. I had fun in actually making them using that. That's how I knew I wanted to go into game design. It's just that, unfortunately, for me, I am hindered by the fact that I don't understand code. I've tried to learn coding. I have tried so many times to learn coding, but I just can't. Same goes for me with other languages in general. My brain just can't hold on to languages. I don't know why. Yeah, floppy disk. It has been a hot minute since people have heard that one. Most people know it as the save icon these days. You had fun messing around with RPG Maker as well? Hell yeah. Man. Right now, I actually have an RPG Maker style. I have some RPG Maker things on my Steam, including the SRPG Maker, which I played around with that, but the first SRPG Maker, its user interface is not very friendly. It doesn't give you any idea how to use it. The only way you learn how to use that is by looking up tutorials online. Or if you have an inkling as to how it worked already, because I know there was a Japanese instruction manual, but the English one isn't as detailed. But I want to learn how to use that because I love SRPGs. You know, I love strategy RPGs. Fire Emblem is one of my all-time favorite series. So, it's one I want to learn how to use. Ooh, another game I want to play. Death and Abyss. That is just you versus deep space creatures with Star Fox style gameplay, all range mode style. I want to play that. I want to play that. It looks so cool. Last time you heard of floppy disk was that disaster with the US mail system? I must have missed a memo. I don't know what you're talking about with disaster action with the US mail system. I mean, the US mail system's always been a mess, but Oh, it wasn't really a disaster? Ah, gotcha. This is probably something that I just missed the memo on. Ah, there we go. Aw, man. One thing I still have on my wish list. Yes, Quantum, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? It's been a minute. How you been? I hope you're doing well. Pretty sure the government still uses the floppy disk for some things because they're so archaic that nobody else has the tech to still process them. Yeah, there's one person who has actually bought up so many empty floppy disks that he is making bank by selling it to the government. I'm not even kidding. Sneak attack achieved? Indeed. But yeah, how you been? How you been? It's been a hot minute. Hell, I haven't been on Voop chat in an age. Mostly because there's one person on there that I just rather not deal with ever again. It's just someone bought a copy of Witch the Holy Night BE version of the floppy disk. Oh, that one. Yeah, that was horrible what happened to that. Been doing okay? How have I been? I've been doing pretty damn good. Life's been stressful, but it's also been good, you know? You gotta take the good with the bad. Everything in equal balance. All I know is that I'm alive, I'm still kicking, I'm enjoying stream, I'm enjoying games, and, you know, I'm enjoying people. Well, I also don't enjoy a few people. They know who they are. But yeah, and as I said, I haven't been on VoopChat chat in a while because there's one person on there who decided that I was their mortal enemy. I don't know what all they've said about me behind my back, but I do know they've been talking shit. And I just want them to know that I know. If I ever find out what you said there, sir, you know who you are. I will end your career. I have so much damage. I have so much I could shoot you with in terms of silver bullets. Those silver bullets, they would destroy your entire career. You know who you are. And I have at least 10 people I know who have all come crying to me about the bullshit you put them through. You come after me next, I will end you. Anyhow, I'm moving on from that. Because they're not worth the gold. They're not worth that effort. I'd rather use the gold for myself. Exactly. We all don't enjoy a few people. Hey, Divine, no sad. You're one of the people I enjoy having here. Come here, come here. You're my buddy. No. This is someone from Voop Chat. Someone from Voop Chat who I don't enjoy. As well as the people who had to go up against in court, which were my own flesh and blood. But that's beside the point. Voop. V-U-P-E. Voop. Nibnob, you get back here too. You little shit. How about copper? You know what? Yeah, copper would work. But those silver bullets are tempting. Oh man, but yeah. It's crazy. Voop Chat is a really good place for most part. It's just there was 2 times where I ran to people on there who I just did not get along with. One wouldn't stop flirting at me when I made it very clear I was not interested. And, you know, they were a dude, and I made it clear, hey, no, I'm not into guys. And yet they still kept forcing it. So I then skipped and blocked them. The other one knew a lot of people that I knew as well. So I didn't have the fortune of blocking them on there. That said, they are banned in this chat. So while they may be able to see and hear some of this shit, they can't say a thing in my channel. Why? Because fuck them, that's why. But yeah, that's what's kept me from going back to Voop Chat here for the past few months. Just because I don't want to risk running across that guy again. I know most of the people on there are really good people. That's where I met Quantum, as well as a few others. Really good folks, like Riker, as I said, again, Quantum, Kara, Carousel, so many good people. But when you run into just that one bad one who you can't do anything against because it'll cause a domino effect. At least not yet. Yeah, it makes it to where, yeah, you just decide to avoid the area instead. You can understand and relate a bit? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks because it's sort of like going to a hangout area where you enjoy being around the people. The people enjoy being around you. But then there's that one douchebag in the corner who thinks he's the main character and makes everything miserable for everybody else. You know? Exactly, Wolf. That's when we ran into each other in Voop Chat. That was a fun time. Oh, man. I have so many fond memories of Voop Chat. I just wish that one guy would fuck off. Because he doesn't realize how strong of a pull I have. Because even if I don't say who they are, their chance of ever getting into a corporate scene is gone. Because I used to be corporate. I have shared ban lists with people who are corporate. And they are banned in my channel with the mod note of being someone who has stalked and harassed multiple friends of mine. So yeah, they're never getting into corporate. They could be indie, but their dreams of being a corporate VTuber are permanently dead. And you know what? They have no one to blame but themselves. So, anyhow, I should move on from that topic because that right there, you know, I don't want to let any more than that slip. I'm not saying who it is. I'm not saying who the mutual friends were because there was, as I said, there was 10 or more. So it could be any and everyone. It might as well be any and everyone at that point. But it is what it is. And I'm just going to move on because really, that person does not matter. Exactly. Many such cases. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It really is. Yeah, gotta stay positive in the end and not let someone else ruin the vibe. Exactly. Exactly. And here's the thing. There are some times where someone might ruin, you know, the feeling of a place. They might ruin the vibe. But I always give someone a second and third chance. I will always give people 3 chances, first and foremost. First encounter, just think of, okay, they get the common courtesy. They haven't earned my respect yet, but I will give them basic decency and get to know them and not assume anything about them. If they screw up that first time, I go, okay, maybe they're having a bad day, you know? Because that's always a chance with people. People could be having a bad day and you'll always see the worst side of them on that day. It will always feel off. So I always give benefit of that doubt for that. Second time that happens, I get a little more wary. They will be lowered in my respect for them if it keeps on going on. And it's just think of, okay, I'll go, okay, if they're still got something really bad going on for them, maybe, but it's getting a little weird at that point. Third time is think of, no, this is just how they are. I'm backing out, you know? 3 strike rule. And I know there's a lot of people out there who don't do the 3 strike rule. I'm very generous because I do that. Most people do a 1 strike rule. But, I just feel like I gotta give people their fair share. Their fair shake, you know? But, yeah. Just think of, that's just how life is. And that's how I was raised, you know? Make sure to treat everyone with some sort of respect. Some sort of common decency. Even the people I don't get along with, I respect them enough to say, hey, go live your life, just live it away from me. You know, that's what I say to people who are like that. Once accident, twice coincidence, thrice is a pattern. Exactly. Exactly. And I know some people have probably blocked and banned me for, you know, having things happen 2 or 3 times, because I'll be honest, whenever I reach my breaking point, I reach my breaking point. I do. I end up getting very just down and just pull back. And I end up feeling very weird, acting not myself. I already am a bit of a hermit. I'm a bit of a hermit and stay to myself. Just reaching out to very few people. But whenever it gets to that point, I am even more so. There was a time where my neighbors wondered if I was still alive because I just didn't go out when I reached my breaking point. So it's a thing of, everyone has those moments. I know that some people have probably, you know, blocked or banned me because they saw me during those times. You know? This thing of, you know, sometimes it just happens, and I, however, constantly try to learn from those mistakes, you know? Make myself better and not fall back into it. So now, after that whole incident where my neighbors worried if I was okay, whenever I get to that, if I get to that point, I'll make sure that they at least know I'm around by going out a little bit during the day so they can at least see me moving around, you know? Make sure that they're not having to worry about me. And hey, Banjo, welcome in. How you doing? Oh, did you end up getting into more shenanigans with Kobe later? Because I know you had to leave at one point during a Super Battle Golf. But I was wondering if you got into more shenanigans later, maybe in the Discord. But yeah, how you doing, Banjo? How you doing? Oh, you did draw something? Hell yeah! What'd you draw, if you don't mind me asking? Exactly, Jade. We all hit the valley sometimes. I need to take some of my tea. Allergies are really kicking in today, and it's making my throat extra dry. Checking your Discord and creations? Gotcha. Give me 1 second. First was tea. All right, let's check here. Kobe's Discord. Creations. Scroll down. Oh no. Hold R to give up. Oh no. Oh my lordy, that's great. That's great. Oh, poor Kobe. Poor Kobe. I actually mentioned whenever we were all playing that earlier, Banjo, because I didn't know what chaos I was going to start whenever, okay, because Banjo, I don't know if you saw it, because you might have been ahead of me at the time, but at one point, I actually pulled up and stopped for Kobe to go ahead and let her get into the golf cart that I was driving, because she was a little bit further behind, she needed to catch up. I was going to be nice, it's going to be nice. She then immediately pulled out a bazooka and blew me up while I was parked there waiting for her. Then I tried pulling up again thinking, okay, maybe she thought I was going to run her over with it. Nope. I parked, honked again, she shot me with a second bazooka. And of course, I did the old Bugs Bunny thing of course you realize, this means war. And after that, I didn't realize the chaos was going to start by doing this, but I had my own bazooka, and I was the first one to pull out the bazooka, aim left at the start of the match, and pull the trigger. I was the first one. And then afterwards, everyone started doing it. As soon as they realized that they could, they did. Oh, man. No regrets, though. It was worth it. It was worth it. Peace was never option. True, it is called Super Battle Golf for a reason. Mercy was never an option, is what you were hearing? Apparently. Oh, man. Oh, but yeah. I was the one who shot first. Well, technically, Kobe shot first, and then I retaliated. But my retaliation had collateral damage. Oh, we got an Osamu with us. Oh. There we go. Get my neck to pop. Oh, man. But yeah, that was a good time today. That was a good time. I had a lot of fun. That was something I needed after doing the tech stream earlier today. Just to sit down, relax, have fun, laugh. Because I had so many laughs during that. I was on push to talk with that game, so people couldn't hear me that much. But, dude, my sides hurt. My sides hurt so much from laughing. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, man. Ooh. Though, I do wonder... Because I did feel bad for Kobe because she wasn't able to play XCOM. And I think I may know what might be causing her system to have so many issues. Because I don't know if she's done it yet or not, but she really needs to run command prompt or a PowerShell as administrator and do the SFC /scan now to see if there's any corrupt files and if, Windows will repair them itself. Because that's something that can't happen over time, especially if there was a power surge or something like that. And then if that happens, the DISM command, so on and so forth, because I'm an IT guy, or formerly an IT guy. So I've done a lot of work with PCs. You know what happened to her PC? I don't know either. And part of it might actually be one thing I wonder is what driver is she using? What graphics card does she have? And what driver is she using? Because if she I think maybe she has, is it a 20 or 30 series? I could just go to her channel and see if her stats are right there. Give me a moment. Cool. Newbie. There we go. Let's see. About tab. Specs. Are the specs right here? Not the PC specs, but just the specs of what she uses. Okay. Well, I don't know her PC specs then. That's unfortunate, because if I did, I could possibly help. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. Yeah, CPU voltage is also a thing. Just imagining you pouring a bazooka and shouting, "4!" as the match starts and you fire the bazooka. Yeah. But one thing I'm thinking is, depending on if Kobe uses NVIDIA, I don't know if she uses GeForce or not, but GeForce is notorious for downloading the drivers that they shouldn't download. They download the game-ready drivers, which most people think, oh, that's good. No. The game-ready drivers are the untested, unstable drivers. The drivers you want for an NVIDIA card are the studio drivers, which you need to get from the website itself and install manually. That might be her issue. She might need the studio drivers. And even then, it could be a thing of, if she has an NVIDIA card, whenever going to download them, she might be accidentally getting the laptop version instead of the desktop version, because there are two different versions of these graphic cards, and they have two different driver types. Which, while they will function off the other, they'll be a lot more unstable if you get the wrong one, you know? It's possible. Oh, Stretch, you got it. Whistles innocently. Yeah. Game-ready drivers and GeForce Experience do not use. Especially because GeForce Experience will also override the settings that you put for your games. GeForce Experience, I'm not talking NVIDIA control panel, no, GeForce Experience is more, it's when NVIDIA wanted to be its own launcher. And it just, no, it's not, it never worked as a games launcher. Zero knowledge about PC? I have too much knowledge about PC. I actually went to college for this shit. Then again, what haven't I gone to college for? Because no joke, I've gone to college no less than 4 times. All within less than actually, I was about to say less than a 10-year time span, but no, less than a 6-year time span. And I got my degrees in IT, got my degree in media design, I got my degree in video editing, game design, and then, of course, I also have my Adobe Certified Associate's degree. Hey, don't think. Welcome in. How you doing? What me up to? I'm just here chatting today. But yeah, I've gone to college and got that stuff and gotten quite a bit done there. Quite a bit done. And also, I have no college debt. I paid all mine off. As soon as it started building up. Because I am a workaholic. I worked so many hours in a row while I was going to college. And the reason I was able to pay it off is because I tested out of all my classes. Quite literally tested out. I went, saw stuff, took maybe 1 or 2 days to realize what the courses were, read the books that we were supposed to read, and then said, hey, I'd like to take my final. They go, you want to take your final? Yeah, I want to take it right now. What? It's not time for your final. Yeah, but I want to see if I can test out. You do realize that if you fail this, you're going to have to take this entire class over again. Yeah, I know. But I never failed. I always succeeded on testing out of those classes. So, I may not seem it with some of the stupid shit I say on stream, but I'm actually pretty smart. I am actually pretty smart and well educated. I'm just also a bit of a doof. But yeah, because I did that, I was able to go ahead and do some spare jobs here and there. Like, as I said, I've worked for temp agencies. And because I worked at temp agencies, I was able to get so many different job types. I have worked as almost everything under the sun. I have worked, I've done obviously fast food, retail, bit of construction, but I've also done the side of construction that people normally don't see, which is the blueprinting. I was actually hired on to do blueprinting for a building. I'm trying to remember what the terminology is. Architecture work. Architecture. I was hired on to do architecture work. Do I have a degree in architecture? No! But they saw I had a degree in media design and said, hey, you could do this, right? I went, sure. I don't have a degree for that, right? Just media design? Okay, yeah, but we'll trust you to give it a shot. Okay. So that night, I sat down and studied the basics of architecture. And I did not sleep until I made sure that I understood where things needed to go. I studied super hard real quick because I had to get that job done within a month. Thing is, that job paid $28 an hour. Yeah. And I went and I got it done. And pretty much because I had to study, I counted that studying time as part of the work time because they wanted me to do it. I told them I didn't have the knowledge on how to do it. I was just a media designer, and they said, okay, we'll do it anyway. So that studying was part of my work time, you know? And I got it done, and I was worried that I messed up at some points, but no. Apparently, I did such a good job that a couple years later, when they were getting another building, they brought me back on. They brought me back on to help with the next building. I said, okay, same type of deal as last time? Yeah. And I said, okay, do you mind if instead of 28, we just round up to 30, make it easy to multiply? And at first they were hesitant and said, listen, you know I don't have a degree in this. I just have a media design degree, but I did a good job for you last time based on, even with that, come on. $2 raised after so many years. You know, I said did such a good job for you the last time. I said, all right, sure. So $30 an hour the second time around. You never got paid while you were working architecture? You got robbed, my dude. Smartest adventurer confirmed. I don't know if I'm the smartest, but I am definitely the most tenacious. And resourceful. I am very resourceful. But yeah, I've worked so many jobs. You know, architecture, fast food, retail. I worked as a butler for a little while. I've been a librarian. I've done taxi services back whenever my right eye wasn't blind. I have done, name a job, I've probably done it. Name a job and I've probably done it. Hell, as I mentioned before, I even trained to be a cop at one point. Quit 1 week before I would have got my badge. Because I saw the way that the world was looking at cops. It's like, even if I went ahead and continued with this, the rest of the world, they're gonna view anyone on the force as corrupt because there's a lot of corrupt officers out there. It's not the majority, but that minority is very corrupt. That minority of officers is very, very corrupt. Baggage handler? Yes, I've done that too, at an airport. I've also done clerk work at a hotel. I have done, well, I don't know what's the term is for it, but I've helped medical professionals with making sure that they had the equipment that they need. I helped out, I was a ride-along for EMTs as a backup one day because they needed someone who could also use, you know, the paddles and stuff on people, someone who was trained for that, which I am trained for that. I'm trained in CPR and using the paddles. About fast food in an airport? That's still food service, so I count that, but I haven't worked at an airport in fast food service. Porter? That's probably the name. Yes. But yeah, I've done a lot of jobs. And during all this, you know, I earned money and stuff like that, paid off my debts real quick. Because I don't like being in debt to anybody. Hell, my first job I got was technically when I was about to turn 14. Because it's gonna get a little dark here real quick. Okay, a lot of dark here real quick. Pretty much, when I was young, I was seen as a burden by my family. My mom, stepdad, all this stuff. My stepdad was divorced from my mom at that point. But mom still saw me as one. We were in another state, and it was supposed to be a quote-unquote vacation. She had me get out of the car at one point. I was on the side of the road in a completely different state. And she drove off, leaving me there all on my own. I went walking around, I was homeless, and after about maybe a few days, some guy saw that I was there and said, hey, come work for me, I'll let you have a place to stay. So I did. And instead of just having me give me a place to stay, he also paid me as well, helped me with food. So I was learning how to earn my own and everything, and eventually I ended up getting a bus ticket back to the States. Not the space, but back to the state I was from. And when I got there, I had the experience to where I was able to get another job and start taking care of myself, just transferred from one place to the other. It wasn't much. I was working at McDonald's at the time, you know, but it was something. And whenever that happened, I was allowed to go back home purely because I could now pay rent as a 14-year-old child. I'll just let that sink in. But yeah, I've been making my own dues, making sure that I owe no debt to nobody since I was a young child, doing everything myself because I had to. And to this day, that's led to some bad habits because now I have a hard time accepting help from people. But when you have to learn to be that resourceful that early on, you know, you don't really get much of a choice. And it's going to build in those habits, which can be good. It can be good because it's helped me, you know, survive. Because even right now, with me being disowned by both my stepdad's side of my family and my mom's side of the family, you know, with me literally being alone, I am literally alone. I'm still able to hold my own. And honestly, I'm proud of that. I am very proud of that. You've read some stories around? Some stories around what? But anyhow, yeah, that's how long ago I got my first job and how I kept on holding on to it. It's just, I do what I can because I must, you know? And during those few days where I was homeless, I did in fact resort to a little bit of thievery. I did. Oh, stories around the internet? Ah, gotcha. But yeah, it's a thing of I did do a little bit of thieving. But thing is, I never stole money. The only thing I did whenever I was around that time was I was a kid. I needed food to survive. I was homeless, I needed food. Sometimes when you're that desperate, you use a 5-finger discount. With those kind of contents, yeah. It's not just me who has to deal with stuff like that. It's a lot of people. It's not as many as you'd think, but there's more than you would think as well. Because once you know about it, you think, oh, there's gotta be so many. But no, it's less than what you think, but it's still more than you would expect. And it's always sad. Because when that happened, I had a cell phone at the time too. And before I got abandoned on the side of the road, I remember waking up in the middle of the night and I thought I was dreaming, but I saw my mom there using her fingernail to chip off the receiver end of the phone that would take in the battery. So the cell phone was dead. I was completely in the dark. I didn't even have a phone to try to call and ask anyone for help. Everything was done by me. So I had to go ahead and take care of all of it. Take care of myself and just do what I had to do. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be who I am now. And I guarantee you that is probably also a part of why I do so much for so many other people, because I know what it's like to have nothing and have to do for yourself all the time. You know? It sucks. It just sucks. But because of that, I will make sure that other people don't have to deal with it, you know? Hey, Survivor. Oh, you walked in on me telling a bit of life history. A little bit of a life story. Which, it got dark. I won't lie, it got dark. But silver lining is it made me who I am now. Because I have a lot of stories that could get really, really dark. Really, really dark. Like, I am a very durable person. Very, very, very durable person. I have so many scars on my body from where I've had either accidents with animals, a time I was shot with a gun, A time I was shot with an arrow. A couple times I was stabbed. Other times where I was slashed. Of course, everyone knows about the story about my blind right eye and how during a fencing accident. So yeah, I am a very durable individual. I'm a very durable individual. But yeah, I am the only, and the thing that got me, of all things, was whenever I fell off a ladder at work that one time with a 200-pound printer landing on top of me. That was the thing that finally caused me an issue with disabling my back to where I can't lift anything 25 pounds or higher anymore. Which sucks, but you know, it is what it is. At least I can still walk. And I could lift things that are, you know, up to maybe 20 pounds. So, you know, there is that. I just gotta be careful about doing anything higher than that. Otherwise, for the next few days, I will look like a goddamn Allen wrench. Yeah. Mother chopping receiver drain back. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was left on the side of pretty much to get you up to speed, Survivor, I was left on the side of the road at 13, 14 years old. In another state. And I had to work to get my way back. And even then was only allowed to stay back at home again because I could pay rent as a 14-year-old child. Something I will never forget. Don't get me wrong. I still care about my mom, and I hate talking anything negative about her because she is, you know, it's still my mom. And she has passed. And, you know, I will cherish the good memories I always have. But I can't deny the facts that were there either. You know? I can't deny the facts. Just because someone has passed away doesn't mean that the things that they did in the past were all good. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know? But yeah, there's a lot of stories I could tell. A lot of stories. But some of them I keep a little bit under the radar, a little bit hush-hush, because, you know, I gotta have something to say during streams, and just maybe sometimes, you know, mix it into something else here or there, you know. Just to, because if I tell all my stories all at once, then there's nothing left interesting about me. Yeah, life's not easy. Life is in fact very fucking hard. But I'm harder. I'm harder than life ever will be. One day it's going to take me out. One day it's going to end me. But that's not today. Phrasing? No. Take it either or, because no matter how hard life gets, I can beat it out. I can beat out life and being hard. I am very durable. I am very sturdy. Stronger, not harder? Fuck it. At least you can look back and say all the things that could have been the end and said no. Yeah, I'm very stubborn and very resourceful. Oh, I still remember the time that I went with a scout troop. And I don't know if I told this story before, but I went with a scout troop. It was the last time I ever went with the scout troop, by the way, because I used to be in scouts. And I was maybe a 9-year-old kid at the time. I was asking for things to do for the troop because we were all out going camping. And while they all were going to go and, you know, explore around, the scoutmaster said, "Here, we do need some more wood for the fire. Here, you can have this hatchet and just chop the firewood." I said, "Okay." And I go, so I just swing it like this. He said, "No, you make sure it's steady, and then go for it. Otherwise, you're just gonna have chips fly up and, you know, hurt you, possibly hit you in the eye." I said, "Oh, okay." So he left me there, all alone, a 9-year-old child with a hatchet, chopping wood and being told to keep the wood steady. I'm pretty sure you can see where this is going. So, I'm there and I'm, you know, chopping the wood with the hatchet. making more firewood for the bonfire. At one point, I get this one that's just not chopping, and I'm going, okay. I raise my hand back because I'm going to swing harder, and I swing down as hard as I can, and it finally goes into the wood. And then I notice also as I'm pulling up that there's something red on the axe, the little hatchet. I look at it. I look down at my hand, and I see my finger is bleeding. I don't realize how damaged it is. It's my left index finger. I don't see how damaged it is. So and I'm not feeling any pain either. Not feeling any pain, it's just cold. So I go, set down the hatchet. I'm looking around for the scout troop leader. Nowhere to be seen. Same with all the other scouts. So I go walking around to where the other camps would be. And as I'm walking, the blood starts dripping from my finger even more. Covers my entire hand because I'm holding it up. It's now covering down all of my forearm. I go around and there's this nice group of people. I don't know if it was some parents with their kids or if it was two people out on a date and just took, maybe their cousins with them. But they see me. They realize I'm hurt. They rush over. I ask them, hey, do you have a Band-Aid? Because I think I just got a cut. They say, yeah, we got those. Where's your people? I mean, I don't know. The scout leader left. I can't find him anywhere. And they said, okay, do you have your mom's phone number? I say, yeah, it's this. I tell them it. They call her, tell her what's happening while the other one is bandaging up my finger with a lot of gauze and all this other stuff. And they say, and pretty much they take me not home, but they take me to the emergency room first because I had chopped halfway through my left index finger with that hatchet. Keep in mind, I was a 9-year-old kid. So it's a thing of accidents happen when you're young. I get that sewn back to get up. Driven my mom shows up there. I get taken home and needless to say, I didn't go to that scout group anymore. In fact, I'm pretty sure that scoutmaster got either fired or maybe put in jail for child endangerment. One of the two. But yeah, I have a lot of stories to explain how durable I am. A lot. A lot of which also come from when I do actual adventuring. Spelunking through caves, urban exploring, going through forests, and so on and so forth. Just looking for things I could find to just to enjoy myself, or, maybe give to museums, sell at pawn shops, whatever. Because I still have some of my treasures too. I have a little tiki guy looking thing that has some ivory on it. I have some sort of gem. I don't think I think it's amethyst. I'm not sure. But I have a little bit of a crystal like that I found. An actual old-time fashion lock with a key that still works. I've got some treasures. That I still kept. But yeah, my old PC before this one was actually bought with money I earned from selling treasure that I found. Because I would literally go exploring. I am a true adventurer at heart. That's just who I am. Hey Abaddon, you're gonna cover me in bubble wrap? I mean, sometimes it feels like I might need it. Let's be real. But, makes sense? Yeah. It's just, there's so many stories I have, and some of them I probably don't even remember. I'm gonna be real with you. Because I know I've done a lot more than what I can remember. I normally have a good memory about things, but I can't remember everything. I only remember the big things. And whenever it comes to people, I can remember these small things that person's important. Not that people aren't important, but normally, you know how it is. People who are more important, you'll remember things about. You'll remember things about even more. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea real quick. But yeah. Oh man. I miss going out and doing adventuring. It's getting to spring season again. It is spring now, but it's starting to warm up properly around here. I might end up going out and doing some more exploring here again, because I stopped doing exploring, well, urban exploring anyway, because the last time I did, I found a severed foot. Which, yes, I did report to the police. And I was thinking of, you know what? I think I'm taking a break because whoever put that foot there, they were doing it to keep it hidden. And if they know, and if they saw that I found it, I would be next. So I stopped for a while at that point. I remember as a kid, I got separated from my school group at the zoo. They moved away from me without making sure everyone was there. And somehow the chaperone never got punished. Oh, man. You hate to hear that happening. Hate to hear that happening. But man, there's so many stories. So many stories. Like, there was one time, this was when I was a kid of around maybe 6, 7 years old. I love climbing trees. I love climbing trees. This is another story of me being durable, by the way. Because my neighbors, they had a tree that me and them would climb. You know, it's just fun to do. It's just fun to do. But me being a 6 or 7-year-old kid, I did not realize that the day after it rains, things are still slippery when wet. Yeah. So I'm climbing this tree, and at one point, I end up slipping. My legs grab onto one of the branches as I'm falling down, spin me around, and I drop the rest away, landing directly on the top of my head from about a 10-foot drop. Next thing I remembered was waking up and hearing my neighbor and my mom, and I think my stepdad, I can't remember, they're just standing, talking, looking at me, just waiting for me to get up. No panic in any of their voices. They're just going, you're sleeping on the ground. Why are you sitting under the tree? Or something like that, you know, it's just... And even when I said I fell out of the tree, they said, okay. Are you okay? I went, yeah, I'm fine. I have a headache. And they said, all right, go back to bed. It's late. Go inside. Think of, okay. So yeah. I very well may have had a lot of my issues caused from that falling from a tree back then. But, as I said, I'm durable. I am very durable. So yeah. Oh man. Life's weird. And reality is stranger than fiction 90% of the time. So, yeah. There's a lot of stories I could tell. A lot of stories. I can't tell all of them because, again, I can't remember all of them. But I do have quite a few. And I think the fact that even though a lot of them can be seen as dark or depressing, or sometimes frightening because, you know, I got into a lot of dangerous situations, stuff like that. Just being who I am. Hell, there's one story where I was trespassing on pretty much my grandpa had a farm. It's now my grandma's ranch. But pretty much they were a cattle farm, and there was another field of land nearby that oh, hey Locke, welcome in. E-I-E-I-O? Aye, E-I-E-I-O. But at one point when I was around maybe 10 years old, my cousin and uncle, they were going onto the other land that wasn't my grandpa's to go ahead and toss some soap around to get the deer out of there because someone was baiting and hunting out of season. They were doing it illegally. So I went over there with them, and there was a point where their truck, the other person who owned that land, their truck was coming along because they had sensors showing that people were moving on their land. And we had to lay down in this thick flora to avoid being seen as these high beams are just glaring right in the eye. They couldn't see us because we were underneath so much, but it was just glaring. There was we were hunkered down next to this little, it was some sort of bush of some sort. I don't know what type of bush it was. It was some sort of bush. And just as we're laying there, hoping this guy doesn't see us because he's got a rifle in his hands. He ends up pointing his rifle everywhere. He's yelling, he's shouting because he says, "I know you're here. Get off my land." You know, stuff like that. And it's just like, technically he's in his right. We aren't supposed to be there, but he's also not supposed to be baiting and hunting illegally either, especially out of season. So we're just laying there holding our breaths. This guy fires off a round and it goes into a nearby tree. One that was so close by that the splinters of wood actually land on top of me a little bit, as well as my uncle and my cousin. We just laid there, didn't move, didn't make a sound, didn't flinch. We just waited until eventually the guy got tired, went back in his truck, and started circling around the land some more trying to find us. When that happened, we realized that we didn't have any more time to do this. We got up, ran back, jumped the fence, and got back to our own place. Safety inside my grandpa's house. It was very dangerous, but that's just the type of life I lived. I did a lot of dangerous and stupid shit. Hell, I still do a lot of dangerous and stupid shit. It's a lot less now, but I still do it. But yeah. I think that's the last story I'm going to be telling for today, though, because I am seeing that we are at around the 2-hour mark, meaning our favorite little kitsune is going live, so we're going to be raiding on over there. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I am going to go ahead and wrap things up here, and I'm going to wrap this up by saying thank you all so much for watching and hanging out with me while I just sit here and just chatted your ear off, you know, regaled you with stories from my past, as well as just other things that we just talked about as well. Crazy how we bounced around from so many different topics. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every last one of you who've been here. Remember, if you watch this on Twitch, please consider hitting that follow button. It helps quite a bit. And if you're watching this on YouTube, consider hitting that like button. It helps a lot more than you know. If you're here on Twitch, do stick around for the raid if you would. I would greatly appreciate it. But above all else, have a great day, folks. Okay, my friends, you know who we're going to be raiding today. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're going to be raiding Kitsune Eve, so let me go ahead and get that lined up. Yep, she is live right now. Perfect. Perfect. She did already go live. So we're going to raid on over there. We're going to raid Kitsune Eve. Alright, folks, do be sure to grab one of these raid messages if you would. Remember, the Dragonhead one is global, while the other one is for subscribers. Can't thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate the last one you haven't been here. And I will catch you next time. Peace, everybody. Oh, she's also got about 8 minutes of her starting soon screen going still, so you have time to get a drink or a snack. Be sure to do that too.